Hello everyone, I'm Sohnjee. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much. I appreciate you checking me out. If you have been hanging with me for a while, thank you. I appreciate your support. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you know when I upload new content. Again, thank you so much. For those of you that are wondering where the part twos are, the part twos are found at my website on www.sohnjee.com. So that's for those of you that want to know the in-depth extra things that I tell you about your relationships when dealing with the various sun signs. On part two, we discuss how you are in finance, how you are in difficult situations, and how you are in the bedroom. So if that's what you're into and you want to hear about that, and I also give you some wonderful solutions, helpful hints on how to maintain those relationships, and also some ways that if you're having difficulties, some things you can try to lessen it and get along, make things a lot smoother. So now that the business is out of the way, let's get right into Capricorn. Hello Capricorns, how are you? If you're a Capricorn, that means your birthday is December 22nd through and including January 19th. So, hey Capricorn, what's good with you? Let's talk about Capricorns because you guys are very misunderstood in the zodiac, okay? Let's talk about it. Capricorns, you have a strong sense of self. So typically you don't understand why people don't understand a Capricorn because you guys are pretty clear on who you are. However, because you're also known to be that sun sign that doesn't really express their emotions, people kind of make assumptions about it, and because you really don't care, you just let them walk with it. So let me help you out for those of you that have a Capricorn in your life. Capricorns keep their walls up, and you have to be very patient with them. They are not letting you in until they feel that you should be in. So pull up a chair, grab a book. Capricorn is not letting you in and not taking their walls down until they are good and ready. All right? They are practical people. They can be dominating and very stubborn, hence stubborn as a goat. That's them. So they are logical people. They're analytical. They're in their heads. They are thinkers. And sometimes because they're not really thinking about how you're going to feel because they're in their head thinking, they come across as insulting. Capricorns are also accused of being slow-moving people, but it's not that they're not quick with it. It's just that Capricorns want to think it through because they like sure things. Speaking of which, what does a Capricorn like? Well, typically, they are traditional people. They are very much into family. They are understated regarding their status, but they're typically very accomplished. They're very committed to their goals. They like quality, craftsmanship, and typically your Capricorn is a music lover of some sort. What are their weaknesses? Well, they come across as know-it-alls. They can be quite unforgiving if you do something that a Capricorn finds just over the limit. They can be quite stuck on unforgiving you for a very, very long time. They can be condescending and pessimists. Now the thing when I looked into, okay, what were Capricorn dislikes? This is what came up. Almost everything at some point. I didn't say a Capricorn. That's what they said. They said a Capricorn is going to dislike everything at some point. So that's when they're in their pessimistic phase. You just got to ride the wave and wait for them to get through it. Okay? I didn't say a Capricorn. That's what they said. Is that true, Capricorn? All right, we're going to keep going. Now, we talked about them being strong-willed, stubborn, and they're also known to shut down and stop communicating with you. A Capricorn also can be known to disappear on you. Now, this typically happens with a Capricorn if the money is involved. Capricorns are very into their financial situations. So if your Capricorn has money issues or they feel as though their money is funny, you can set your watch to the fact that that Capricorn is going to withdraw, isolate, and figure out how they can get their money back to where they are comfortable, all right? Because sometimes they carry the world's problems on their shoulders and they disappear to solve them on their own. That's something typically you will find in a Capricorn. You know, they are the misunderstood warrior of the zodiac. So sometimes they are thinking about things that perhaps their partners or the people in their lives haven't even thought of, but the Capricorn has, because they show their love through providing and through acts. So if they don't have the finances to carry out the things that they think that they should be doing, it bothers the Capricorn. They are hardworking, quite complex people. So as I said, you have to be patient in getting to know them, and you have to give them the space that they need when they are isolating, trying to figure things out, especially that money. You want them to come back around, give them some of your money. Sorry, Capricorn. All right. But however, once a Capricorn lets you in and takes their barriers down, they are very loyal, very committed, and very loving. You know, you just have to get there with them. So those are the basics about Capricorn. Remember, those are general things. Of course, everyone's unique, everyone's different, but that's a basic guideline. Now we're going to get into what is it like with your sun sign when they are dealing with our wonderfully stubborn and loyal and committed Capricorn. Well, let's talk about it right after this. Hello, Capricorn with Taurus. Welcome to your matchup. So right off the bat, Capricorn and Taurus are both earth signs, so this is a harmonious matchup. You should have very similar views on life, finances, and many other key areas in this relationship. Now, you're a practical and sensible matchup on all levels because you're both very reliable and steadfast people. You value security, and you have the same high standards regarding your home and the value of hard work, as well as you both like quality and nice things. You're both pretty conservative, and your public persona might differ from your home one, as your public image is quite important to you. You should find that you have a host of things in common regarding your likes. You intuitively will understand one another from very early on because you both recognize the potential of this relationship. And as I said, because you both value hard work and you're both known to be hard workers, you will get that instinctively about each other. You both place a high value on your home and family life, and you will appreciate the reciprocity in having that in your partner. You won't have issues as much with this pairing as regarding your social calendar, as you two should pretty much vibe the same and avoid those issues about too much socialization and not staying at home because you both like being at home. You don't have a problem typically with Netflix and chill. All right. You both easily prefer a night at a nice restaurant that has good quality food together over that of a wild party. So it's not that you actually stay home. You guys will enjoy finer things, finer quality things, and you will do that as opposed to a wild night. Doesn't mean that you can't get your party on, doesn't mean that you don't get your party on. I'm just saying that if it came down to which one we're going to choose, you guys are going to choose the intimacy of each other and home. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, your views on many topics are very likely to be quite similar, including that key issue of finance, which is oh so important to Capricorn. But you'll also find similarities regarding commitment, parenting, etc. As they said, well, know whether you know it or not, but one of the best signs, sun signs of the zodiac regarding parenting is supposed to be a Taurus. That's what they say. Now, traits such as possessiveness, which Taurus may have been criticized for in the past, are very likely to be understood by their Capricorn partner, okay? Taurus may find that Capricorn is a bit secretive for their liking, as Taurus is straight out with it, straightforward and in your face, where Capricorn is a little bit more reserved and pensive and in their head. Capricorns like to think about it. Taurus likes to tell you about it. Now, one of the biggest risks and also one of the biggest strengths in this match is that it's quite likely to be more work than play. The two of you, as I said, quite common in that area of we got work to do, let's get it done, and being committed to the task at hand. You're both so sensible that someone will occasionally have to create time for the two of you to relax and enjoy life, because work, 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 goals, and this is what the two of you are all about. So if this is a partnership outside of a love match and you have a Taurus and a Capricorn in a work relationship, things are definitely gonna get done. Now, it can be particularly strong relationship if you both work together. So if we're combining work and romance, this is a relationship that shouldn't have problems keeping things in perspective, as you're both likely to help each other's careers and be highly tolerant of each other's long hours and putting work first. It's because you will provide the flexibility in each other to get your goals met. Now, you both tend to be somewhat pessimistic, however, at least so far as always planning for the worst and being prepared to deal with it. Sometimes you can get so caught up in preparing for the what if it goes wrong that you forget to enjoy what if it goes right. So that's something you want to keep in mind in this relationship. You don't want to have so much pessimism that you forget to incorporate the optimism. Now, you're both very concerned with money and finances, both highly logical and aren't interested in the mind games at all, because you're both, well, especially Taurus, is quite blunt with the things they have to say. You're both seeking a partner you can trust, and chances are you will have found that in each other. So we've made this one that it seems, if this is a platonic type relationship, this should work, as long as your communication is understood, that Capricorn is given the space that they need when they're having those withdrawal moments, and as long as the money is right for the both of you, you two are pretty happy, given that, as I said, there's so many similarities in this relationship. But does that mean that it has long-term potential? Is this your soulmate? Well, who's to say that part? But it definitely can go the distance if you address some of those things that I've told you to watch out for. What are they? Well, they're definitely the career thing, more work than play. The ability and how you approach conflict. And because you're both known to be quite stubborn as a goat, bull-headed bull, how do you overcome that? Well, we'll talk about it in part 2. I'll tell you how these two very strong earth signs can come together in a meeting of the mind and keep the conflict low and increase that love thing to an all-time high. Join me on part 2 at www.sohnjee.com. If you're in a Capricorn Taurus relationship, please feel free to leave your comments below in the comments section. I look forward to seeing what you have to say. So click on over to part 2 and let's talk about how you take these two very strong, very sometimes stubborn signs who like their money. How do you guys make it work? How do you guys make loving each other just as big a goal as your money? See you there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.